All right, everybody. Welcome to the From Lead to Cash with Zoho One webinar. My name is Travis Compton, and I am an evangelist for Zoho. So before we get into some of the bulk of the webinar, it's worth mentioning that this webinar is about Zoho One, which we refer to as the operating system for business. Why do we refer to it as this? Because it has everything you need and more to run your business, whether it's an application in marketing, sales, support, finance, HR, wherever, productivity and collaboration. Whatever you need, Zoho One has what you need to run a productive and growing and healthy business. So this webinar is going to get into the entire lead to cash flow here with Zoho One. So we're going to start by converting the lead in CRM, in Zoho CRM. We'll be sending estimates and invoices from CRM to this lead's email address. And of course, that's going to involve some finance software that is all embedded, nicely integrated into CRM. Then we're going to go into that finance software, Zoho Books, of course, to record some payments and make sure everything is square with that lead that we've converted earlier. And then that lead is going to want some customer support. So we're going to talk a little bit about Zoho Desk, which is our multi-channel ticketing tool that we use for customer support. And we'll show off the customer portal there as well. So before we get into the demo, it's worth discussing what exactly a sales process is. A sales process, as defined by this slide, is a sequence of progressive stages designed to create a customer. So what does that mean? That means that you should know what your sales process is, or certainly someone in your business responsible for sales should know what the sales process is. You're going to use this to structure your CRM, which will be your database for all of your customers, leads, contacts, all of that stuff. The goal of sales process is to take the leads at the top of the funnel, so people that you have a little bit of information about, and work them through a sales cycle, through different deal stages, and hopefully at the end of it, produce some customers, get some people to buy by pushing them through a refined deal process that works for your business. So this is how we generally think of this, right? Generate on the left there, you're generating leads, and then you're qualifying those leads, converting them into contacts, and hopefully turning some of those contacts into customers by closing deals with them. So along this path, they're slowly transitioning from leads to customers. You're going to have some people dropping off, of course, as you see that they're not relevant or interested in your business. At the end of it, you'll have some customers, and that is the job of sales. Generating those leads, though, is the job of marketing. I make a note of this because sometimes, and this is fine, companies have different ways to actually go about this. Sometimes generating a lead is not purely a marketing job. This could be for a number of reasons. Perhaps your business is smaller and you tend to do the marketing and the sales. So this separation between marketing and sales departments doesn't really exist for you. Other times, it's worthwhile just to think of this as a more holistic process. So for example, if you have a really good sales process, that can work for good word of mouth towards your marketing. And then the side of this that we're not seeing is, of course, support, which good support processes can end up actually being really good marketing for your company. If people know that your customer support is good, people are going to like working with you. That's going to work well for marketing, which is going to feed back into sales, which will hopefully lead more people into support, and it becomes a sort of cycle, right? So this is not something where the departments are fully separated. Even theoretically, sometimes, of course, we have different apps that we tend to think of as marketing apps and apps that are sales apps. But depending on how your company is structured, there may be stark departmental differences or none at all. But we want to build something that's flexible and useful no matter what. So that's what we've done here with Zoho. So before we get into CRM itself, I want to talk about some of the modules here. The reason this is so important is because CRM, how your data is structured matters quite a bit. And CRM assumes certain things about how your data is structured. And if you don't know those things, then you can go into CRM and make quite a mess of it and lose some of the valuable functionality of what it can be. So I have a little screenshot up here. You see this bar with home, feeds, leads, contacts, etc. on it. That's taken from the CRM directly, and these are the different modules of CRM. So within the leads module, you're storing raw information to be followed up on. These are unqualified leads. It could just be a single bit of information like an email address or a phone number. This is just where you're putting people that you're not sure if they're relevant to your business or not. You need to have a discussion with these people and figure that out. If they are relevant to your business, then you convert that lead, and that lead turns into a contact. That's because you know they're interested in your product, you've qualified them, and you can actually sell to this individual. Now, the third thing here, account. A lot of people get confused about the difference between account and contact. The difference, however, makes a lot of logical sense. We think of it within Zoho CRM account, we think of it as an organization or a business. The reason this makes sense is because people work for businesses, contacts work for accounts. So this could mean a couple different things in relation to how you handle your deal process. This could mean you have multiple contacts with different purposes tied to an account, things like someone in a marketing department versus in a sales department versus the business owner, maybe a printer at a printing company, a color specialist at a printing company, right? You have different contacts with different purposes associated to account. And an especially important thing to note is that say your relationship with a specific contact at an account breaks down, or say someone leaves that account, you want to have more contacts tied to that account so that when you're actually trying to get in contact with someone at that business, someone at that organization or account, you have someone there even if your former contact is no longer there. And then lastly, the deals module. This is sometimes referred to as the potential or the opportunity module, whatever the case is, deals, potentials, opportunities, all the same thing. Those words are interchangeable. This is going to be your sales pipeline tracking system. So when I mentioned previously you should know your sales process is structured and set up within the deals module so that you're walking contacts through a predictable set of steps that hopefully has a high probability to close and actually create a customer. This is, of course, something you're crafting over time and something that's unique to your business, which I'll talk a little bit more about when I'm actually showing off that module. So this is going to be the flow of the demo that we're going to get into here. I'm going to be looking at generating leads. I'm not going to actually go in and generate leads through any marketing tools here today. There's other content and other webinars available to see that. But from there, I'm going to choose a lead, follow up with them. I'm going to actually create a deal with them and convert that person once I realize they're interested in my business. I'll generate and send an estimate, close a deal, generate and send an invoice to them, which is an official financial document. And then I'll have to log that payment on the accounting side of things and process that payment. From there, though, as we know, the actual relationship with the customer is not done. You then want to be able to support that customer and help them out. But getting into the first step of that, generating and nurturing leads, like I said, I'm not going to go in and demo a bunch on this, but I think it is helpful to have just a very short slide explaining, some useful ways to generate or nurture leads within Zoho. So we have Zoho Forms, which you can create using the Zoho Forms application, or you can create a form directly from Zoho CRM and have people input their information and have that go right into your CRM. Either way, you can push that info into CRM, but Zoho Forms will give you some unique abilities and a little bit more flexibility, of course, with things like custom logic. So, for example, if someone answers yes to question 1, question 2, you can have it show up or be hidden, right? So you can build in custom logic into your forms. You can connect it to various apps across Zoho One, and you can have a whole stable of custom forms ready to go. Zoho Sales IQ is really useful for generating leads as well. Sales IQ, if you don't know, is a website live chat tool. If you have Zoho Sites, or if you've built your site on WordPress, wherever your website is, if you can embed code on that website, you can use Zoho Sales IQ. Zoho Sales IQ will give you live chat embedded right on your website's homepage or wherever you'd like it to be, so that at any time someone can chat with a sales associate or whoever you have online at the time. We can also track visitors, so we'll know exactly what page they hit on your website first, what page they went to next, how long they spent on each one of those pages, right? You can see what country they're from, get all sorts of information, what browser they're on, all sorts of cool granular stuff. And of course, send their information directly to CRM if they choose to chat you and engage with you. And you can also build chatbots, which can handle specific maybe business processes that you want to be more automated instead of having someone live on your site handle. Then once you have those leads, you can nurture them with something like Zoho campaigns, which will let you build mailing lists, send out email campaigns, move leads and contacts in your CRM into specific lists, build out different mailing workflows and send them forms, stuff like that. Pretty cool email marketing automation stuff. And then lastly, a good way to automate, or not automate, but automate, to actually engage with people, of course, is the classic trade shows and events. Get information from them, whether it's an industry trade show or an event you were sent to, add them to your CRM, that sort of thing. The old-fashioned way, rub and skin. So now I want to move into the demo portion. So here I am in CRM. Now, as you can see, I'm in the leads module. I'm looking at a specific lead record of someone named Alicia Richards. Here's her contact information. And we have all sorts of information if we scroll down about her. It's fairly empty because she is a new lead. We've just added her to our system. We don't know a lot about her beyond her email address and her phone number. Now, this CRM that we're looking at is the CRM for a design company. And this design company is called Out of Line Design. They do things like web design. They do interior design, they do poster design, logo printing, shirt printing, logo design, all sorts of cool stuff. So they're kind of like an all-purpose one-stop shop for design. This means that they have people that are more hands-on artistic and people who are a little bit more technical and can actually build websites and stuff. So they're all-purpose, right? So let's say that we talked to Alicia Richards, maybe we emailed her, called her, and we know that she's interested in our business, and we want to take her from this leads module and put her into our contacts module. So to do that, we'll hit this green convert button, and this is going to create a new account, right? We know she works for a business called Peaceful Solutions, and it will make her a new contact record as well. We're moving her over. We also know that she wants to have a deal made up. So let's say it was a, let's say $9,000 deal. The deal name, it's going to auto-populate with the name of the account, but we know this is a website building deal and shirt printing. Let's say, let's actually say it's a shirt printing deal. It's an expensive one. And she's looking for the full package here, shirt printing and web design deal. And we'll have this closed today. We can set which deal stage we want it to be in. So remember when I mentioned the sales process earlier? This is where that rubber starts to meet the road. We have all these deal stages built out. Some of these are, you might recognize them if you use CRM as the defaults. If this is what yours look like, that is not good. You want these to be custom to your business, and you're not going to hit it out of the park with your first set of deal stages. You're going to find areas where a lot of deals get clogged up and they actually end up sitting around, stuck in a certain deal stage for a long time. That's not ideal, so maybe you want to refine that deal stage, break it out into multiple, right? There's all sorts of wisdom about how to craft good deal stages and things online. But the key thing to keep in mind is that it should be custom for your business, and it's something that you'll have to refine over time. So let's say we're in the identify decision maker stage. This all looks good. I'm going to convert. She's now a contact. There's this little badge that's popped up here. This is a little gamification thing. It's saying, hey, great, convert more leads, and you'll get this badge. You can tie like in-office rewards and things like that, gift cards to that sort of thing if you'd like. From here, I can check out her account, her contact, or her deal. I'm actually just going to click over into the contacts module though, because I want to show it to you. This is structured much like the leads module. If I click onto that, see, quite similar, because the goal is ultimately, the same. We're storing information, but the purpose of that information is different. People in my contacts module I know are relevant to me. So you can see contact name, account name, email, phone, contact owner, and there's more fields over here. I can filter what I'm seeing using this information on the left, and of course switching modules up here. So we see that, look at this, Alicia Richards, that's the contact we just made. If I click on her, we can see the deal that she is associated with. So if I go to this deal, I'm now looking at the shirt printing and web design deal worth $9,000 I just looked at. And I can start moving it through these deal stages by clicking on these little dots here, right? And you'll actually see the probability changes. So my CRM knows that deals that get to this negotiation/review stage, they have a 60% chance of closing, and I can use this percentage to build forecasting reports and things like that. That's why the expected revenue is $5,400, because 60% of 9,000 is $5,400. Here's our contact person, Alicia. If I scroll down, look at this. So we have in our finance related list down here on this deals record, we have this estimate that's been created. So let's take a look at that. Now we can edit the estimate here. We can add more line items, add a description per line item if we'd like. So for example, I could add on a special logo design service, product packaging service, whatever I'd like. I'm happy with the way it is though. I can add discounts, just straight up cash or percentages. No discounts for Alicia today. Shipping charges, customer notes, and then the terms and conditions. It's going to ask me who I want to send this email to. I only have one contact person on this deal. That would be Alicia Richards. So I only have one option of who to send it to. I'll hit save and send. It's now going to show me the email saying, okay, here's the email that we're going to send. What do you want it to look like? This looks fine to me. I don't need anything fancy. The main thing I want to show you is that I want to attach an estimate PDF. So it's going to send her a PDF in the email for her records. I'll hit send. Your estimate has been sent. And here is the PDF of the estimate that we're seeing here in Zoho CRM. You can see bill to Peaceful Solutions. $9,000. We have the sales tax, which is 9.25%. That's something we could have edited at any step in this process, but that looks good to us. And if I go over to her email here, we can see here is the estimate that we just sent. Thank you for contacting us. Estimate number here is the attached estimate. So $9,832.50. Same thing here, right? All lines up. So now we have our salesperson here looking at one estimate and our customer looking at one estimate, and they're looking at the exact same document. In fact, if I click to view estimate here in the email, it will open this estimate in a little payment portal here where I can view it. And now any changes made to this estimate in CRM will be reflected in this estimate that's being generated in the portal. So now if I go back to the deal, and let's say, we talked about the estimate, we thought it went well, and Alicia Richards said, yeah, this deal looks good, let's go for it. I'm going to close and win the deal now. It's again going to serve me a little gamification thing down here. He closed one. And if I go back down, you'll see an invoice has now been generated. So once I hit edit, I have a few options here. Much like before, I could add some more line items here, add a discount. It's also going to give me a few payment options here, PayPal, WePay, or the option to let Alicia make partial payments on this invoice. But this looks good, so I'm going to save it and send it. It's going to show it to me here, right? This is exactly what the email is going to look like based on a template that I could edit if I wanted. That looks good, so I'm going to send. Now here is the exact invoice that I just sent, going back to Alicia's email here. Here is that invoice that I just sent over. It's attached to PDF just like before for her records, but if I hit the button that says View Invoice here, here is that invoice being served in the payment portal. Much like before, when I was looking at the estimate in the payment portal, I'm now looking at an invoice, and I have the option actually to pay this now. So I could pay it right within this portal and move on with my day, but this is a webinar, so I don't want to show credit card details or anything. So I'm going to jump into Zoho Books in just a moment here. But again, just pointing out how this is pretty cool, right? So I was just in CRM. I closed a deal. It automatically made an invoice. I sent that over to be viewed by Alicia. I could have it sent automatically if I wanted, but I just don't have that configured in my settings. But I could do that. I just wanted to show you sending it manually. And now Alicia and your salesperson are both looking at the same exact invoice. In fact, if I go to Zoho Books, which is our main accounting software here, and I click on Sales, and I click on Invoices, I can see a list of all these invoices. Here is the one that I just made in CRM. Now here it is in Zoho Books. And here's that same invoice, marked as sent, due today, sent. So now I'm looking at it in CRM. I'm looking at it as Alicia, the customer, and I'm looking at it as your accountant, whoever does your billing or finance, right? We're all looking at the exact same document, which is pretty cool. So let's record a payment on this. We want to mark it as paid. Let's say that we met with Alicia in person and she wanted to pay us in person, cash, or, we have a bunch of different options here. Paying in Benjamins, if you'd like. But she paid in cash, and so that looks good. And we're going to email her a little thank you note to this email address. So we'll hit record payment. It will now mark this invoice as paid here, and you can see this timeline, this history of when this, when, who, and where this invoice was generated, when it was sent, when it was paid. So a bunch of cool information up there for you. And if I go over here to customers, and I look for company she's a part of, which is Peaceful Solutions. You see she's attached to this company. They have no outstanding receivables. You can look at when they last paid us, a bunch of cool information. But I can also click more up here and configure client portal. So this would actually give her a client portal, which is a place where she can go and look at the history of her entire financial history with this company. So things like invoices, estimates, she could change her billing address or input it. She could change her shipping address. And all of that would be typed into the portal and updated here right for her. I could just send her an invitation. She would sign in, change her password so that, obviously she has access only. And then she can interact essentially with the back end of our database in a limited way. That just makes things easier for us. We don't have to call her or send her mail asking her to update this stuff. She can sign in and sign out, look at the status of all her payments, and get right with the company right from there. But let's say that now we're done, right? You see she has no outstanding payments that she has to make. Everything looks square with her. But that obviously is not where the interaction with customers ends. We now have to support her. So if I go to this website, outofline.site, you can see this is the website of that fake company that we've been working in. This is the website of the company that owns that CRM that did all the work for Alicia. So let's say Alicia goes here and she goes to support and clicks customer support. In this new tab, it'll open up this customer support portal, which is a pretty convenient place. This is actually being generated by Zoho Desk, which is our support software. This is, for the most part, how it looks out of the box. We've turned off a couple modules, but we haven't really added anything here except some contact info. The idea is, much like the payment portal, the support portal is here to be a one-stop shop for Alicia Richards to get all the support she needs, whether she wants to chat us here using a little Sales IQ integration, whether she wants to call us, email us, check our knowledge base where she can read articles that the company has written and put up there in hopes that they might help customers handle some of their problems on their own so they don't have to go through the trouble of reaching out to support or whatever the case. Whether she wants to look at the history of her tickets, she can do all that here. So she just wants to write in a ticket here. So I'm going to fill in some information here. Her name is Alicia Richards. gmail.com. Yep, looks good. Say, let's say a website is down, shirts are torn. So you'll actually, as I type stuff here, you'll see on the right, it's populating these. If I delete a little bit, you can see it's giving me fewer or more options. These are actually knowledge base articles that it's suggesting to me. So it's reading what I'm writing here and suggesting based on what I'm writing, maybe some options, some knowledge base articles that might answer what I'm asking. So it's trying to offload this customer so that, one, your support agents don't have another ticket they have to deal with and a customer they have to help, because that can take time and bog things down. But two, if these solve her question, she probably would prefer to click on this and really quickly read something rather than answer, or rather than submit a ticket and go through all that. But these are not answers to her questions, or she just simply doesn't want to use those. So she's going to write in the ticket description box here. Website's down, shirts torn, please help. Good enough. I can classify this ticket as a question, problem, feature request. I'm going to choose problem, obviously, and of course you can customize this field. So this just helps you this will help you start to sort tickets once you get into Zoho Desk. You can sort them based on their classification. And we're going to prove we're not a robot. I can attach a photo. So I mentioned, the website is down. Maybe I submit a screenshot of what happens when I go to the website, an error code or something. Shirts are torn. I can send a screenshot of the torn shirts that I received. I'll hit submit, and it has now submitted a ticket. So if I go over here and I open a Zoho Desk, now I'm in Zoho Desk. So this is designed similarly to CRM, right? You have your modules up here. You have your primary information of the module right here and different ways to filter that info on the left. So we're currently in the tickets module. If I click over to KB, that's the knowledge base module. Here are some of those knowledge base articles that I wrote that you saw in the support portal. We actually give view counts for each of these, and you can upvote them or downvote them based on how helpful you find them. Customers can. So using this information, if I'm finding a lot of people don't find this article helpful, maybe I want to rewrite it, or maybe the information's wrong, but a lot of people seem to be looking at it, so I need to figure something else out there. If a lot of people are finding this article helpful, maybe I actually want to develop some content and make some email campaigns around what kind of graphics I can have printed, highlighting, popular graphics or that we've printed for different companies, or just basically a primer with some information to spit out to people, right? And then click on these and edit them, but I don't want to do that right now. And then the other thing I want to talk about is the activities module. So we can assign specific activities to agents or with agents based around specific tickets. So for example, let's talk about the best way to handle this ticket. If I click on this activity, here's the ticket it's referring to from this contact. We see it's a high priority ticket, and it is a call that we've scheduled, right? So you can build all sorts of activities around particular tickets, whether it's actually solving them or just discussing how they went. For example, if I have a ticket and I'm rated poorly by the customer on how I handled that ticket, maybe you want to build an activity around addressing how in the future things like that can go more smoothly. But I'm going to go back to tickets for now. Like I said, here's where all our ticket information is, different ways to filter it. And then up here we have a few different tools that we can use to filter it further, just different views that we can get here. So if I click on the down arrow, I can filter these based on their priority. So every ticket has a priority, whether it's low, medium, high, or no priority. This is going to take those same tickets and put them into columns based on their associated priority. So you can see all of these don't have a priority, so I probably want to go and start assigning a priority to these. These are all low, these are all medium, and these are all high. Another useful way to look at them is in countdown mode. So we have tickets that have no due date and tickets that are overdue. So clearly I need to go in and start adding some due dates to these, but I also need to start handling these ones that are overdue. And then probably the coolest one is handshake mode. So this view is going to filter out tickets, or not filter them out, but separate them based on that person's relationship with my company. So whether they're someone new, whether they're a contact or lead in the CRM, whether they have an open deal in the CRM, or whether they're a customer, they've actually paid us before. So it's using sales data to help me better understand my support data. Because clearly, I want to prioritize customers over people that are just contacts or leads. These are people that have actually bought from me, right? I've actually interacted with these people. Whereas these people, I may have interacted with them, but I haven't actually done any business with them. And people in the new column, of course, are completely not even in my CRM, just writing in. In fact, if you look at this ticket here, in the customers column, website is down, shirts torn. That's from Alicia Richards. That's the one I just submitted. I click on that. And if you remember what I wrote in there, I wrote her name and her email address, but I didn't write her phone number. It's getting that information because it's pulling it from the CRM. So it's enriching this ticket with data I have on this person elsewhere within Zoho One, within my system across departments. Here are other tickets. Here's information on Alicia, and here is information on this ticket. You can see it's already starting to log time. That'll be helpful with invoicing. I can assign this ticket to someone. And if I click on this little CRM icon, as you can see, I'll actually get more info on Alicia. So I'll click on that right now, click on potentials, and here is that deal. So we know she's in the customer column, but maybe the support person is wondering, okay, she was a customer, but what does that actually mean? How much money did we make from this person? When did we close that deal? What does this mean? This will let me know what that means. And of course, any activities. Actually, we had a follow-up with her, a task scheduled at one point in the CRM. And I can do the same thing with financial information if I click on the books icon. So I can view any past invoices. Here is the invoice that she's paid. If I click on that, it'll take me over to that, and I can see that invoice. So now you've seen this same invoice in CRM, which is for sales, in her email address, in accounting, as well as in desk. So we're having 3 different departments and the customer all see the exact same invoice really quickly, instantly, which is super cool. And then the same thing with estimates, right? And we can see that this estimate has been invoiced. So this is an ongoing financial transaction or a past one. So pretty cool, right? One last thing to note here, if I click on tickets again, we're pulling in tickets from a bunch of different sources. So you saw me submit a ticket through the customer portal. We can take tickets via Twitter, by monitoring specific keywords, or whenever somebody adds your account, through email, through other web forms, through phone calls. If someone were to call me, it would just pop up right here, a little window, and I can accept it. Through chats, because we've integrated Sales IQ. There's a bunch of different ways we can take tickets, but they all show up and are populated here. It doesn't treat them differently. This is a full multi-channel tool, which is pretty cool. But beyond that, I don't have a whole lot more to share with you. I hope you can see that through the power of Zoho One, you can do a bunch of really cool stuff across departments. It's not limited at all to keeping your sales data in one place, your finance data in another place, your support data in another place, right? It's bridging those systems and bringing all that stuff together, which is what makes this a useful tool and what makes Zoho One a really powerful platform and the operating system for business. So before you leave and before I move into questions, I want to mention just a few things. First one being a what we call concierge. It's a free service we offer. It's not a sales call. If you're looking at all this stuff and saying this is pretty cool, I'm just not sure where to start with it all. I'm a little overwhelmed. Or maybe you're just saying, I know how my business works, but I'm not sure how Zoho One fits with it. If you go to this link, zoho.com/one/concierge, we will help you out with that. Just fill out the form and we'll have a quick call, a free 30-minute call where we say, all right, this is what your business does, this is what you're looking to automate, or this is how you're looking to institute Zoho One. Try out these resources. If you're not even there yet, if you're not even sure where to start, how you want, maybe think you want to institute Zoho One, we can help sending you on your way with some ideas and some apps to look at. If you want more webinars like this, we have those. The overviews are more high level, so less demo in these. And then the demo sessions, one of which you just saw, here are what we are currently running. We're adding these, so check back probably every couple weeks, every month, and we'll usually have different demo sessions up, planned and running for you. Other helpful links, pricing, if you want to know the price, zoho.com/one/pricing. Very quickly, if you sign up all the employees in your organization, it's just $30 a month per employee. That's it. Super easy. If you don't want all employees in your organization to have a license, then it's $75 a month per user. Just the primary differentiator there being is every employee in your company going to be on Zoho One, or are they not? If they're not, then you'll be going with the $75 per month price. So check that out. If you have questions about that, the sales team is more than happy to help you. I know some people get into the weeds about, what constitutes an employee or not. You can figure that out here and with our sales team. If you want more webinars or guides, ebooks, things like that, go to zoho.com/one/help. You'll find those there. And then if you have any questions, please write us at webinars@zoho1.com and we'll get back to you. Any questions at all about whether it's about this or other Zoho One related questions, you can just write us and we will get back to you.